face off. We're gonna talk your face off. We're gonna talk your face off. Talk your face off. To talk your face off. Talk your face off. Talk your face off. Talk your face off.
We are live.
And we're back. What's going on?
Not much, man.
Yeah.
Not feeling great. Like, I think I'm getting what everybody's been having.
Have you guys out there had like a weird phantom cold go around where it's like, it's not super sick, but it's enough sick to like put people out for a day or two?
Yeah, they were getting, like coughs and aches and tired and all of those things.
Yes.
So I don't know if that's what you guys are getting, but
it seems to be very similar.
I'm feeling a little bit of the aching and kind of tiredness. So I'm like, we're pushing through because we missed last week.
Yes, and I appreciate that because I was sick last week. Was I sick or was I busy working?
No, you were sick last week.
Yeah, I don't remember.
And I was busy. I had that video to finish, which
I remember.
I knocked out.
Nice.
I'll talk a little bit about that because it was an interesting shoot. I have a lot of just random bits tonight, so we're really just going to talk your face off about whatever is going on in our worlds right now.
Well, that's good.
There's not a whole lot of news in the RC world that I've seen. You've got some RC news to share.
I've got
really cool
few things that are pretty cool.
Yep. So we're going to talk about that.
Yeah,
for sure. And then I've just been, my wife had a work thing, she puts on these big forum type things, that university level, big time names, scholar people that come in for these conversations about current, whatever topic, things that are interesting in the world. And,
cool.
And she
like
really,
a TED Talk.
Ish, yeah. Like their president is up there and they bring in 4 different voices on a subject or a topic. One of them was AI. This one was about politics. What's the
Who cares about? Who's talking about politics these days? People talk about that.
The last one was about like deconstruction. So anyway, pretty educational, upper educational level type things. Right. And so I had to be at it. So I didn't get to go to our RC event on last Thursday. So
bummer.
She lets me do a lot. So and she comes to all the things that I work on and put on. And so,
sure.
It's good. But so I'll have some of that stuff. I have a concert I went to in Detroit. I'll talk a little bit about, which was a blast.
Did they say, thank you, Detroit? They kind of have to.
But they were saying F Cleveland and some of that stuff too.
Oh, wow.
Was it Cleveland? That's who the Tigers are playing, right? So, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But they're from Kansas, and so they were watching for their own reasons. Yeah. They'll eventually be against us if they're still in. But, yeah.
Okay, so I have some tech stuff that I need to ask your opinion on.
Okay. My hat's crooked. I can tell, and I can't tell how to fix it because everything's backwards.
My crawler, my 24 scale, has your shocks on it. Already.
Yep. Do you take the springs off it?
No, but I'm wondering, should I take the springs off of it? Because I'm putting it.
Let it just set, dude.
Because I'm doing this guy now, Dalton's rig.
I would just let it
just droop it out,
or even cut them like a little bit so that it's mostly droop. Because they're too long, like you don't really want them at that extension. So I want it to be able to extend out, but there's certain points where if you're on a hill or a side hill, having some,
you want a little bit,
yeah. So I would cut them. I droop mine. I mean, I just do it full droop and just cut them off, just take them off. But you can do how you want. What's going on, JMRCs, Rooster, Travis, Custom RCs? I just mentioned Travis why I wasn't there. But yeah, Cleveland rocks, Paul says. For real, they do. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Do you know another technical question? What are the softer springs? There's gold, silver, and black.
I think black.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
Pretty sure.
Okay, that's what I'm
Yep.
going with.
I don't know. I just take them off. But you'll be able
Yeah.
to tell. It's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Black Market RC. Oh, Axial 32.
Ooh,
Racing
what's
Case. There's
going
more
on?
people in here. I didn't see.
People are popping
Scroll
in.
down.
There you go.
Plukenstein, Tanker T68, Paul Mosgar. Yeah, so I didn't get to go comp, and I still have my video, and I have started working on the one from the Gauntlet. So I'll be working on that, and I've got some stuff from the Venge, his products that he did.
Okay, I just dropped the eyeball or the eyelet on the floor.
Sweet.
Awesome.
From Visser Engineering, which he sells his stuff on Etsy, can be found there. But his stuff is crazy.
Nice. Nice. That's cool. Well, we had a championship race, another one.
Yep.
Actually, yes, because we had a live, and we had already had the oval and the turf championship.
Yes,
race.
you had. You were you were by yourself at the trailer.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh, Andrew, what's going on, Mr. Strong? Yeah, full droop. Yeah, so we'll bring. You know, we talked the other day about maybe doing a 24 scale thing. Me and you, Tony, we were talking about it on the live about trying to maybe me can start something out at the track in between.
Yeah.
Oh, got it. But
I dig them.
So we had.
Man. They're still they're my go-to for most things. Even though we got that mini Mojave now, we got the mini LMTs. Yeah, I'm digging the smaller stuff. Yep. It's weird.
I didn't even think about that.
The new offerings are just not like teasers for me right now.
You know what I kind of wish, though, to be honest? I kind of wish they're worth every single penny, but I kind of wish the mini LMT went down in price a little bit. You know, because it's kind of one of those things where I could see why it was expensive at the beginning, but I don't think the market took off as much as they thought it was going to take off. And I kind of wish the price came down, because the price came down, then I'd be all about it again. Like buy another one. But I didn't even think about how cool that'll be indoor for our indoor season for carpet racing, where we can get a bunch of people together and have little indoor races with those. Mm-hmm. That would be sick.
Those new micro bees. Have you seen those? The little low-C micro buggies?
Oh yeah.
Those look pretty rad too.
Yeah. Lots of coolness.
Has anyone else seen the Mini Max and Jado 4x4? Wait, what's this?
What?
Is there Mini Max? Like,
are
they made by Traxxas, or are they like we've seen the knockoff stuff that got people getting letters from the Big T brand, but yeah. Yeah, I mean the price on them, it's tough because it still has all the same components of the big one.
I get it. Yeah, no, I totally get it.
And all the pieces, and I mean, whether it's big or small, all of that molding and the detail that they put into it definitely increased the cost
for sure.
But yeah, so
it's
I
just one of the
why it can't go too much less. But
yeah, it's just, to me, it's one of those things where I feel like it's worth every penny. But it would, I think, if you could have.
I think what you'll see is maybe some sales.
Yeah.
I think they'll try to keep it for the most part.
Yeah.
Because cost of things are just going up. So their cost of doing business is going up. And it's just the breaks. I mean, so I went to Subway the other day. For me to just get like a foot-long sub and a drink.
I know.
Was over $15. And then they wanted a tip, which put it at $18. For just me at Subway at a gas station.
Yeah, that's painful.
$18. Like,
that's painful.
Hey, Subway, I'll go to Five Guys if you're gonna start charging that much. Like, holy crap.
Bro, I know. Same with like Burger King, Jack in the Box, all of them are getting kind of crazy.
Yep.
5-piece meal, $19.
$19. Yeah, it's getting
Wow.
crazy. Oh, they're saying you're looking kind of almost Colonel Sanders-ish with the.
I know. It kind of got out of control. Well, you know what's
Dude,
funny?
mine's getting long.
Yeah. Well, I was wearing my
The beard.
respirator today
The
because I
beard
was
is
doing a
getting
lot
long.
of sanding, and it was like going crazy. But you know, sometimes you got to do what you got to do, Tony, and that might mean growing out your beard.
Yep.
So,
I'm growing mine out. It's winter time coming.
yep.
And
Gotta
last
stay
time I
warm.
shaved it way too much. It was an accident. I got that new Manscaped trimmer,
Yeah.
and I thought their 1.5 setting was the same as like the 1.5 inch of my other ones.
You're like,
And I
nope.
just chose that one. I went, and I'm like, oh, should have done a test patch somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Anyway,
That's funny.
so, well, I'll tell we'll tell your cool stories here in a second.
I'm not in a hurry.
I just got back from Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
Was a wild weekend as far as just worked all weekend. Worked until 3. Oh, so I have boating stories too. Man, I did. Axial, where did he go? Is he still going on? Axial 32, are you still going out fishing? I've been trying to find him. Like, I've been looking in the Bass Wreck area. I got my new fishing boat back, but that's a different story. My other ones are like I thought I'd figured boating out. I'm like, man, I'm pretty much a pro at this. 3 years in, like I've got it down. Well, no, this weekend reminded me, you don't know what you're doing, bro.
Yeah.
But so we went to the if anybody's here from Michigan East Side, we went to a show at St. Andrews Hall in downtown Detroit. Old venue, well-known venue. That's looking pretty good.
Look how much more droop this thing's gonna have on this side. So these are the old shocks.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but it's gonna have so much more droop.
Yeah.
Anyways, continue.
So yeah, it was awesome. We went and saw the Get Up Kids. They're doing a tour, 25th anniversary of their album, Something to Write Home About. So emo, if you were into emo, Jimmy Eat World, Dashboard Confessional, Get Up Kids, all these, like, the Get Up Kids were probably, I thought, the best of them. Like, they're kind of not as commercial as the other ones kind of were, and just really good. And that album's one where I don't skip a song on it. And I don't have many albums like that where I'm not like, what comes on, I skip one or two on an album. Something to Write Home About, every song's a jam. Like, some are, but they change from how the speed and all that, the attack, you get a little break, and then it comes
dynamics.
It's an awesome dynamic album. It's in my top 5 of all time for my personal listening styles, and and which has a lot of punk influence and different things. So, but of albums of all time, it's probably like 2, 3. Like, it's one of my favorites. Anyway, got to see them with my buddy from college that I used to play in bands with. We had a band called the Remaining Heart Foundation, and it was kind of an acoustic emo band. But yeah, so got to hang out with him when we went.
That's a catchy name.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty catchy.
Yeah.
Pretty easy to remember.
You put Foundation or Collective or stuff like that after, and you can make like cool hats with that little stitch thing across it, because it just feels like it should have it.
Yeah.
Ooh, Foundation.
Ooh.
But yeah, anyway, we went. It was an awesome show, and the last time I'd seen them was 1998 at that venue.
Your friend
for MXPX?
no,
the
band.
Get Up Kids.
Okay. I was like, what kind of friend are you?
I might have seen them one other time after that, actually, but that was the first time I saw them. They were an opening act for MXPX.
Yeah.
I was there for the punk, and they came out and they just like, usually the openers are like,
I know. Sound check, please.
Yeah. Why are we making our ears bleed for this?
I know.
But no, I was like, dude, this is amazing. And like went and bought the CD like straight away. And then have bought every one of their CDs since.
Nice.
Or their albums on iTunes, but is how I do it now. But yeah, good stuff. And their side projects like the New Amsterdams, whatever. So there's your music mantra for the. In fact, I've got one of my guitars right back there. I've been playing a lot recently,
Good.
which has been good.
Yeah.
Getting back to writing again, so I've had this whole area's kind of like MIDI keyboards and stuff for.
But do you have a fish?
Logic. Fish? I have all kinds of fish. In the river.
I'm talking about the one that fish. Because those are awesome.
I don't know what that is.
You know the fish. It's like in a lot of Mexican music.
Oh, no. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Well,
so you lost me there. But yeah. $50 for a family of 4, DoorDash, McDonald's. Dang.
That actually doesn't sound too bad. Like that's I think it's a little more expensive here than that. It's ridiculous. Ooh, Andrew got a 10 scale crawler. Scale fabrication world. Oh, he has questions. I have answers.
Mo says, and I posted the Jado 4x4. What? I'm still trying to figure out what he's talking about with the Mini Max and Jado. So yeah,
nice.
You can tune a fiddle, but you can't tune a fish.
Boom. Yes. So my wife just told me about that, the fast food special. So if you have like the Walmart Plus or whatever for delivery, apparently it gets you a big discount at Burger King.
I have Walmart Plus.
Yeah, so look into it because I think she said 30 or 50%, and I was like,
that much.
I was like,
maybe off a Whopper on its own, but
yeah. Well, I don't know.
So if you're into fast food, you've come to the right place. Talk your face off. It's going to get you all the deals on your fast food cravings.
Yeah, I know.
So RC, like what? So to the chat, this is to you guys. What what is on your? We're talking about the mini LMT. Some people say it's tippy and rolls too much.
What?
I think, and they say if it had sealed diffs, it might be better. The only way that it would be better is that you could save it when it is upside down. You could rock it and roll it and get it back on its wheels.
Right.
But it'll actually make it tip more driving wise.
Yeah, because it'd grab a lot more.
Yeah.
Yep. But, I agree. But I don't know. I am in that boat where I wish you could tune that diff so you could do, walk out of stuff more. Yeah. That would be super nice. But I'm not mad at it. I mean, it's still awesome.
Yeah.
In my opinion. I think like I said, it's tough because I think it's worth every single penny that they charge for it.
But you get more of them.
You would sell.
What I'm waiting for is more options, like more bodies. When that starts dropping, if they can get something like that going, I'll be buying them again. So the one thing is there's not the black option for them either. And that's the same with the LMT now. I know people have bought them and then they wanted to switch to the King Sling stuff and all that, but they couldn't because they don't fit. And that's one thing they made their market very confusing on the full size LMTs. On what works with what and with the wheelbase because they changed the wheelbase and then the bodies don't fit and some people thought they could just drop on and ran into issues. So
I agree with that.
A little bit of a why would you do that?
Well, and the hard so here is the hard thing about our monster truck racing group out here. They're fantastic, but there's so many different little micro classes that were you can run the King Sling wheelbase, but you can't have this, but you can have that in there, and then that's part of a class. But then it's but the difference is your shocks have to be mounted on trailing arms, not on axle, and that's a different class. And it's there was a bunch of different stuff like that.
I don't think they would force you to do on trailing arms. They'd force you to do on axles on some.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean.
That goes pro mod. You just automatically, you have to run it in the mod class if you're going to do trailing arm shocks, whatever.
Right. But that's what I mean. But what I mean is that the changes are so minimal.
Yeah.
That it gets you into another class. It's I don't know. That was the thing for me, is that it was just
Yep.
such a minimal change for being in a total different class or being outclassed, and you're you're brought a knife to a gunfight because you have one of these setups when you didn't intend on that. But
Yep.
it's not a big deal. I just mean that it's like, it seems
There's
like
a lot
you're
of classes now.
really
Yeah, there's
stretching it.
some of them do those ones where you have to be over a certain weight,
Right.
and you have to have a full cage, and you have to have your shocks on the axles.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's the pro mod that you pretty much get away with most things, except there's like a wheelbase limit and width
Right.
limit.
Right.
But they allow it to be, shaft driven or not. The other thing with that one class I'm talking about with the weight restriction, it also has to be shaft driven. They don't allow the motor on axles and all that.
Right.
So, you get the ones like the one, what do I like? The Pro C. Like that's going to be a mod class because it's just so not like a real truck. It's modified to race, and they allow you to break, to bend a lot of things in order to keep pushing the development. But yeah, so for one of the tips that I did hear about the mini LMTs for people that don't like the open diff casing setup is running get the little spacers that they have for them, the shims, and add an extra shim. It'll tighten them up because they're what do they call that when the gears, the multiple gear sets, the way they did that,
The spider gear.
no.
I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, I know what it looks.
Oh, they're
like,
not running that time. I'm thinking the Sen ones. Never mind. But still, it's just about jamming those gears together more. It just tightens it up. The limited slip, yeah. So it gives you more of a limited slip when you add the extra shims,
Mm.
and it will allow you to do some saves and things like that we want to be able to do. So,
Dude,
but it still gives you the benefits when you really are under power turning and stuff.
these shocks are so much better than what I had on there. I mean, it gets it so low. I like it. I can't really show how low it gets, but you can kind of see where the rear axle still has the red ones.
Yep.
And that's how low it is to the chassis. And then it drops out that much.
That's how I run.
Bloop. I like it.
I run them, and mine actually have been run for 3-4 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And they're a little gummy, which I actually like because they don't just
feels
drop out.
Yeah, it feels like a little dampening. You know what I was wondering about that is if you could use thread locker, or I have.
I use the grease, the red and tacky.
Okay, well that's
what in there.
Yeah,
and then as it gets dirty, it gets even tackier.
So that's what I was thinking. So Associated has this stuff called green slime.
Mm-hmm. Similar-ish, but
Yeah.
the red and tacky is stickier.
Okay.
Or like the Moo Cow RC grease that they had.
Very familiar with that. Udder butter.
Udder butter. If you put that in there, that's what I actually use. It's not red and tacky, but it's very similar to the thickness and tackiness of red and tacky.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yep.
Frank Noggle, I saw your comment earlier. He said you used to do lives about RCs that were coming out, but now everyone else knows what's coming out and you don't. What's a conspiracy? Well, the problem was I knew what was coming out and I was no longer allowed to talk about it because I was told. And before we were doing it more like just looking at what was happening and then kind of, actually conspiracies about it. Like, does this mean something? Like, why are they talking about just wait? Like some of the guys like Armo would be like, well, just wait. When somebody said, I like this, but I wish it was.
Yeah.
And then, Jason Dearden would drop a little hint or teaser and we were like, what? But once I started to get to know, I could no longer even speculate.
Well, and that's
had to look the other way.
Yeah, and that's the other thing that was happening, not with you particularly, but in the market in general, the RC market, it exploded. And then all of a sudden, it didn't. You know what I mean? Like all of a sudden, the RC market kind of quieted down quite a bit, I think. And because people weren't stuck at home and they were, everything was going.
The last year and a half is really,
the
Pulse 2 of releases. I don't know if it's because they already had stuff and the people were buying it, so it was just like crazy.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
then they were during COVID, because what's a 16-month lead time, or at least a 16-month lead time on something?
Right.
So it's still, if they weren't in the office or everything was slowed down during those periods, that may be why there's a little lull-ish now that we've been stuck in. If it made maybe teamwork a little harder and different things for, I don't know, if they weren't allowed in offices and
right.
Again, I'm speculating now. Now we're talking conspiracy.
Now it's conspiracies.
Again.
Yeah.
So
how's that for conspiracies?
But yeah, I do know of something that's coming again. So Frank, I do have a little insider still, but I've literally tried to push away from it.
Yeah,
as much as I can. And I've talked about it in depth on here.
Well, and I think also just the market has changed when it comes to the influencer game, where there's really only a handful of people that are doing that game anymore. Meaning getting the early releases and making those videos and stuff like that. It's not a free for all like it was for a little bit, where there was.
And a lot of the stores are getting the early releases now, but they also are running YouTube channels, and
right.
So it's much more clouded, but it becomes a point where it's not any different than being a store, because you're still selling it, because at that point the affiliate links are so tied into it that it's like you're really just a salesman,
right?
For direct, I don't want to knock what other people are doing and whatever, but yeah, it just changed for me, like kind of what my goals were, and I'm much happier with the ones that I'm driving now. Like that Unimog, like new stuff comes out in the crawler world, and I don't really care, because I'm like, I got my Unimog and I love it.
Well, here's the thing, like,
and I got my custom RC Amigos one coming.
Yes. So here's the other thing. Anytime now. Checks in the mail.
Yeah.
So what I was going to say, the thing is though too, is 99 cents. Thank you, Extreme RC13. One of the things that I kind of, that people, and we've preached about this before, and no one really, it's kind of like oh, poor you guys. But it really is a kind of a stress when something gets sent out to you and you have to make a video of it. Or if there's not a lot of pressure, you still pressure yourself to be like, I feel like I got to make a video for this, like right now, because they sent it out to me and that's awesome. But okay.
But it can be fun. Like, there's also, like, especially early on, it's super fun. So
dude, I'm having fun right now. So I had,
I don't want to get on that. Like it's a
no.
boo.
No. So, okay.
It's fun and it's cool.
I was surprised.
Especially if you have the time and the want and the desire to be doing it.
Yeah. Okay. So Element sent out the Ecto portal, right? And I hadn't had a chance to go out and play with it. And I was just like, I've been so busy and blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. Right. But we went out, finally, me and my son went out for the first time in a long time to go crawling, because we've been doing all this racing lately. So I was like, okay, let's go out and hit the trail with this. Let's see what it does. Dude, my son used to have a U4 crawler, and it was like unstoppable. Like literally it was unstoppable. It was an Element, but it was built, right? He's like, after probably
not bought. Listen to this guy.
Yeah. So after probably 20 minutes driving the new portal rig, he turns to me. He's like, Dad, this thing's as good. He literally said, this thing's as good as my other crawler. And I was like, really? And he's like, yeah. It's really good. The portal Ecto.
Yeah.
The thing, it is a portal vehicle, and people are going to be like, man, it's got portals. So what? To me, it's just another flavor, right? So I'm not competing with it or anything like that.
Yeah.
But dude, it was so good. Like, Okay, so the stock Element, old Reedy ESC and motor and radio weren't great.
Hmm.
Okay. And
Agreed.
then they went to Fly Sky. The Fly Sky radio helped, but they were still running the ESC from it wasn't a Reedy ESC, but it was a house ESC, right? Now they moved to the ESC radio all in one, and normally I'm like, meh, like it should almost be an instant pull out kind of a thing. It is so smooth. It is so like it's smooth and it's slow, and I'm like thinking, I wonder if it would be the same putting a better motor on it if it would still be that smooth. I was really surprised, and I don't know, I didn't put any testing to it to see how much power it's actually giving the motor, all that kind of stuff. But we ran at 3S for an hour and a half, and it was awesome. Yeah, it was really good. So I don't know, I like it. We also had the Bushido 12 out there,
Yep.
and I didn't have very high expectations with that. It was kind of I almost made a political joke about debate, but it was kind of that kind of thing where it's like, if it survives, great, kind of a thing. But it did better than survive. And I'm not just saying that because I'm an Element boy or whatever, but
You are.
I am.
You are.
But if you
But
look
it's
at,
okay.
but no, but if you
But
look
you're
at,
also pretty honest about it all. So
well, and that's the thing. If you
Both
look
ways.
at all my Element stuff, it's all purpose built stuff. I don't really have any stock Element things, right? Like the U-Tron I got, and that one was surprisingly good. I didn't like the wheels. I didn't, there's a lot of stuff I didn't like about it, but the actual drivability was really good. And there's things I would have changed about it. Yes, I would have put bearings on it instead of bushings. I would have changed the shocks on it. There's a lot of plastic parts on it that I didn't like, but it was still a performer. But this Portal Ecto, super quiet and I'm surprised how much clearance the portals give it. I mean, it got a lot more clearance now. So it's pretty cool. I enjoyed it. And it was really nice to get out on the trail again because I haven't been out in a while. So that maybe that's what probably made it that much better, is that I got to go out on the trail.
yeah,
and I haven't for a long time. So maybe that's what made it kind of
that does help.
yeah. So
Wolf Tracks, you can sit here and unwind, buddy.
yes, you can.
What's up, Jeff? But yeah.
So I enjoyed it. So if you're on the fence about a portal vehicle, highly suggest it. Highly suggest it.
I haven't checked it out that much.
Yeah. Well, I don't think anyone has. That's a thing. Like, I don't think anyone
Well, I thought
has.
that Harley and them made mention of like super clearance, didn't they? Talk about it having a ton of.
I don't know if they did in their live, but I know Harley said something about it, how they were touting that it had a lot of clearance, but I think he felt a little sus about it.
Okay.
I didn't measure it, but it was considerable more.
Mm.
But I mean, mine wasn't very, oh, hey, I did a Hot Rod Traxxas custom patina paint job. Check it out. All right. I don't know where to check it out, but we will check it out. What's going on?
Is it on your YouTube Extreme RC?
I'll say in a second.
What's up, High Desert RC? Yeah. So
anyway, like I didn't do a scientific check on it. I just,
you're just running it. Your experience was good. So that's the thing that I always like to be able to do, is just kind of give an experience. Like, hey, this, the hard part is you try and block out some of the other stuff. Like if this was all I had,
right,
would I enjoy it?
Would I spend my money on it?
Yeah.
And the answer is yes.
Okay.
This one.
Okay.
So
I mean, you can then compare it to other things, but I always try, because some people are coming that have it and then they're like, oh, now they're like,
yeah, no. And I think the other part of it is if I spent my money on it, would I have any remorse or regret? And I would say no regrets on this one. for sure.
Overgirds. I already like that vehicle.
Yeah,
I think
it's
because
different.
but
It's
it's
different
different.
than the one you got because it
Right.
doesn't have trailing arms.
I was gonna say it doesn't have the trailing arms. It's just one of the things that was different in what made me buy it.
Mm-hmm.
So remember, going back to what we talked about before, like sometimes it's cool to get things, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it can be a little bit troublesome in some ways, deadlines, whatever. Well, I'd gotten that Spectrum Firma brushless system to test, but they're like, everybody's testing it in our vehicles. We want to show that it works in other brands. I guess it didn't have like another brand. I wasn't going to take my Vanquish apart and put it in.
Right.
Because I was already set on what I had in that.
Right.
And so I went and bought the Ecto to put it in, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
Out of the box, even better when we put that system in it.
Right.
But my son, like we were also doing, that's right when the SCX6 had come out.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were up there and I was doing the video, was finally announced we could run it on there. But I had the Ecto with me. My son pulled that out and ran it. First time I hadn't run it yet. I'm like, be careful on these rocks. We're only here because I'm doing the SCX6 videos. It's going to be pretty brutal for that. And he was just like, I'm like, whoa, do that again. Like, I'm like, what in the world? Like, you shouldn't be able to do that. Like, one, because you never drive well at this time. This is what, 4 years ago. Doesn't drive well. Usually breaks everything. In fact, we were at Gauntlet and he broke his within 5 gates.
Oh, no.
Had to carry it around because he just gets it lodged and just holds the trigger down.
Brutal.
And that was on the Gen 8. But anyway, it was killer out of the box. And so that's how I got it, was because I needed, and I wasn't planning to spend money doing stuff to it. Like, that was the thing. Like, I've already got too many. So I'm just going to leave this Spectrum system in and it's just going to be as it is. Well, that didn't last long. It got the Rock Pirates, because I saw that like bed thing. I'm like, that's too cool. I got to get that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Scale Metal Supply stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
Trust risers.
Well, and it's funny because that's kind of
servo, the Reefs brass servo, Spec RC wheels from you. Like, yeah, it
got the
turned into a money truck a bit.
Yeah, and that's the thing that is like, oh, here's the one I want to share. I was talking to Andre about it because I was talking to him about the build stuff that I'm going to be doing this build season. We talked about the SCX6. We talked about a couple other ones that I'm going to be doing, and he was asking about, okay, what do you want to put on this Ecto? And I'm like, honestly, not much. Like, it's good out of the box, and I want to keep it looking like an Ecto, and I want to, like, if my son liked it and he drove,
axle risers are nice. Do those still work on this, or do you not need it?
Oh, the trusses?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Do they work with those?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
And so I might run that on there. Okay. The 2 trusses, and I might put some bumpers on it. But to your point too, like with your son, I was in the same boat with my son, because when we used to crawl a lot, he was like whiskey throttle all over the place, like just bouncing off the rocks. But he would still make the line. It would just drive me crazy. I'm like, can you do that again and slow it down like 90%? Like, and he's like, no. And he get all frustrated. And now he's out there driving, and I'm like, hey, you want to start doing some crawling competitions now? Like, because he's like, let me find my line. Like, I actually heard him say that, and I was like, okay. Let me share this video with you.
I'm actually looking at the patina job he did on the Dodge Power Wagon.
Ooh, nice.
No, that's the Charisma. Traxxas. I thought that was the one he was talking about at first, but then I realized that's a Proline body. That is not.
I hear your music going.
You hear it? The music's going.
The music's going. Oh, this is going to be all blown out, huh? Because it's HDR. Can you see it?
Yep. It is definitely blowed out.
Ah, darn it. All right. Well, you might be able to see a little bit of how good it goes, even though it's blowed out.
It looks so mini.
Yeah,
Your
no,
tires.
it's big. They're 475s.
Are those stock tires?
Yeah, yeah,
Those are wild looking.
yeah. Well, and that was the thing. I was kind of surprised because let me turn this off.
Oh, I got his. I'm gonna pull his up too
Okay, do it.
while we're talking here.
So I was surprised that the tires did so well because at first I was like, meh. And they definitely broke in over the time. Ooh, that looks dope.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
I like the Steelies. Yeah, that's cool, man.
That's really good looking.
I like it. Nice. Nicely done. Good work.
I dig it. I dig it. When I done the search for it, it was pulling up all the this was showing this Power Wagon. Oh, here's the where it's being worked on.
That's cool.
So that was the one I'd seen before, the Power Wagon. That looks really
Nice.
good too.
Yes.
What are those wheels on there? Those look like the ECX ones
Or they
from
look
the
like
Barrage.
or they look like the one from the FCX 24. Remember that red?
Oh yeah,
Kind of look like that too.
but it's too big. Looks like a 12 scale ECX to me. I just sold 2 of those for $50 as a bundled pair.
Nice. The bundle.
I'd gotten them to do a monster truck build like 48s Bigfoot, but didn't do it.
Yeah. I'm trying to heat up my axle. The thread lock went down into the axle and I can't get my wheel off.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. And I don't want to break my axle trying to pull the wheel off.
See, he's got something under the bench. I can't tell what it is. It looks like a Traxxas. I see the green arms.
I thought I had baby hippos on his car. I know I have another set. Why don't I have him on his ride? I just noticed that.
Jeff Brown, he just redid one of his courses up at Reaction, the one on the old snowmobile trailer. Ouch. I haven't been up to see it yet.
Nice.
Two busy Thursdays. Well, one was Gauntlet before it, so there wasn't one for that. And then had my well, no, it's not. That's not true. It was after the Gauntlet. I just needed a break. So I didn't do anything that week. Because after I got back, I worked like 2 nights in a row. I was like, I'm exhausted. So
yeah. Yeah.
And I forgot that I wasn't going to be there the next week because of my wife's function. So
right.
It's been too long. I need to get back.
So we have a lull until the end of October. We finished all our 3 seasons.
Yep.
Oh, I should have pulled up I'll do that later. I'll pull up that flex post that I did. I normally don't flex, but I had to because the kids put in some work, like big time.
When you're talking about, it's time. I was gonna say we need to talk about that. Well, Action 32, we do. You need to get in, man. You need to come hang out. But we also need to get out fishing. So hit me up on the Facebook.
The face space.
The face space.
So my daughter, we had the dirt championship race, season points race, right? And she has been putting in some serious work. And the people that showed up to race, and she crushed it. She got her first W, number 1 on the podium. Dalton took second, and it was like, this is what we do this for. Like it was, dude, it was so rad. And it was funny because I think everybody saw it happening, and like the RD, he wasn't normally, you've heard the races before. Normally they call the races and the kids' names are like, they're battling, they're always talking about it, that kind of thing. Well, like after the first 2 laps, it was like quiet until probably a minute to go. And then a minute to go, then he said something about her leading, and then it was quiet till the end. I think he didn't want to spook her because she was just carving the track. It was so
Huh.
rad. And so she ended up getting the W. I mean, she raced really, really well. So that was awesome. So we ended up finishing the season points 1 and 2. The kids, my son got first and she got second in season points, and she got her first W.
That's
I think
awesome.
I think dirt is the one for her. Like she really enjoys it. So now I got to figure out a way to get us on a dirt track over the winter. We got to travel somewhere to go and try to do a race or something like that, an away race. But so that was cool. And then I ended up finding a third place podium in season points for sportsman e-buggy. And I was like, I'll take it because I actually felt like I got a lot better over the season. I never podiumed. I came close a couple times,
But
came
you put in
close,
the time.
but I put in the time and I was
Yep.
consistent. I was consistent like I always sucked in the quals, but then I ended up always being like fifth through fifth through seventh, somewhere in there every single
Yeah.
time. So my points jumped up because we were there all the time. But so that was cool. And then I've got let's see if I can share the other thing I got going. Well, it's not me. I should say it's not me. It's mostly the kids. And I'll share that right now.
All right, it's on for size, huh? We've got ourselves a sponsor!
Woo!
Got the sponsor.
Oh my goodness. So the I don't have any gear yet, but I do have. We picked up a sponsor that we needed very badly. What's going on, Nick? We got TZO is on board now. We are on board with TZO tires. And so they do dirt, but they got some big stuff coming. And we are super pumped to be on board with them. They're super cool, dude. Like talking to them, like we've been, exchanging emails and stuff like that. And they're super rad. And what was cool is that, okay, so like backpedaling, yes,
Aquabat's super rad.
yes. So yes, I have partners with other people, but most
Yep.
of these partnerships are through the crawler world, right?
Yep.
My team associated stuff came from the crawler world, and it comes from me being a content creator or whatever, for them. Not really like earning my stripes in the racing world or our kids earning the stripes. It's come with the benefits. So that's full
Yep.
disclosure on that. But this
Friends
is
with
our
benefits.
yes, friends with benefits.
Yeah.
So this is our first earned racing sponsorship. Is awesome.
Woot woot.
So I'm like super proud of the kids. The kids were like super excited that we got it. They got some really cool stuff. I mean, it's a lot of tires, a lot of 8 scale stuff. But it's going to be a huge help. And they got stuff coming that's going to be a big help for me, even more so. So yeah, pumped about that, dude. Thank you, TZO. Super pumped. So I did, but it's funny because they like one of the small things that I hadn't thought of, because I always make the cars with all the liveries and stuff.
Yep.
They're like, so now you need to have 3 stickers on each car of our brand. And it's like, Wonder Bread style. They're like, we'd like you to have 3 stickers, and when you guys get on the podium, put on our hat. And I was like, I think we can do that. So, but my daughter, of course, is like, I've got to wear a hat? Like, only on the podium.
Make it cool.
I know.
Tell them to make a cool hat.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah. Thanks, Nick.
Some of the
dude.
hats, like,
So Nick was there
be tough to
watching.
wear.
He saw the main race, and dude, she was like, there was a couple corners that she just had dialed. And so it was pretty cool. He was just talking about that, but
Yeah.
Yeah, and and it's awesome to know that people saw at the track how much work the kids were putting in, practice wise. I mean, they really were taking it seriously. Like as seriously as we wanted to have fun with it, they were taking it seriously. And it was cool being able to see that and being able to see them want to win. And, you know, when you get to that point when they can control the game a little bit and they want to win, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So, yeah. So I'm pumped. Got big things coming with that stuff. So there we go.
So cool.
Yep. There we go.
Drifting and ripping on the dirt.
Dude, yeah. I mean, it was pretty awesome the way they were taking those corners there. I mean, they were just like, it was butter. Like they had it right and they would slide it right into the groove and keep on just hammer down. And it was cool too because they're running 4S 8 scale buggies now. Like they're not running it on 3S anymore. It's all 4S action. So they're in it big time. And now I don't know, like I think they're going to have to go into Sportsman with me because they were doing all right. And I can't see them staying in, for sure. Dalton's not staying in novice. Right. I don't think they're going to let Olivia stay in novice and dirt one more year. I don't see that happening. She's gotten pretty good. So, and if we do away races, there's no novice 8 scale. It's all 8 scales, all Sportsman. So off to bed, Axial 32. Have a good night.
Yeah, man.
Georgetown.
We're going to be going here soon, too. We were going to keep it shorter tonight.
Yeah. You see that? We got someone from
work to do.
We got someone from Georgetown, Guyana.
Nice.
Yeah. What's going on?
What's going on, cool. Lyndon?
Oh, that's cool. Oof. My eyes started burning. Did a lot of welding today. So I feel like I have that welding smoke in my eye. Oh, they're burning. And I probably shouldn't have rubbed them because that's going to make them worse. So now I got to figure out how I'm going to drop the hints to my wife that there's a carpet race in November in Canada that we want to go to. It's only 2 hours away.
Canada?
Yeah, it's only 2 hours away.
Yeesh.
That's not bad. Too bad.
It's not bad at all.
Yep. So, yeah, that's the next step. So Nick was saying Nitro's all open, but she'd be in Sportsman or Novice at Die Hard. Yeah, I don't think they're going to let her run Novice another year with 8 scale. Maybe. I would be okay with it, but I don't know. Ooh, Tony. Look how slammed that gets now.
Yeah, it looks way better. It still doesn't have the right tires on it, but...
Oop, look at that drop. Do you see that? That's some massive drop. Montpellier. I don't even know how to say that.
No, I wish I was. They're having the truck pulling and the monster truck racing in that hotel. That awesome.
Oh yeah.
Such a good setup. Such a good setup. I can't get away. I don't have many more weekends to give off right now, so not in the cards this year. I already talked to the guys about it that were running it. So
I want to get to something like that one of these years. I still got to get to a big event one of these years. One of these times. It seems like the racing events are our big events right now. I want to go to like a crawling or a monster truck thing. I want to get back into monster trucking. I think it's just too much though with the RC racing or with the, actual like carpet and dirt racing.
Right.
And it's just too much. And now my son's going to be running another class. He's going to be running stadium truck with me, which is going to be kind of scary because I know he's faster than I am. So he's going to be giving me all kinds of crap. I can just hear him now. See ya, Dad, as he passes me.
Yeah.
So, but sometimes you just gotta go with it.
502 tractor pullers, 152 monster trucks. It's going to be hot this weekend.
That's huge.
Have a blast. Have an absolute blast.
A good motor ESC to drop in an axial SCX 24. Do you still have the Goliath? I like this one has a Goliath in it.
If you just brush, you can do a direct drop in with a baby Goliath.
Yeah.
And keep using everything else the way it is. It works really good with the second generation setups. Really good. Like just smooth as all get out. Like the first one, it's still smooth, but you got the low, medium, high kind of, or whatever, low, high. So it's not as smooth, but yeah. His ESC is fried anyway.
Yeah, so he says brushless.
The FureTech, they've got a few options. They have the one that's the all-in-one now, the Unity, which is pretty nice. But yeah, I just run their micro Komodos in a lot of them with either a Lizard Pro or the new ones that they have. I can't think what they're called. It's not the Lizard Pro anymore. What do they call Python? And something else that they have.
I have the first gen Komodo in mine. I know I have the first gen Komodo Outrunner. I'm not sure what ESC it is. I think it's the Lizard Pro that I have in mine.
Yeah, the Python Pro are the ones in the metal casing with the super high BEC for running like fast servos.
Yeah.
So that's what I typically run, is something either that or but you can do, I mean, the Cedar motors if you want in runner, they're really good too. By FureTech, they've got tons of great options. That's still to me the best option. I know Hobbywing just announced something. I haven't tested it.
Yeah.
I just everything that if I go brushless, I go FureTech. I just know it. Their Bluetooth app is fantastic for just
their
on
Bluetooth
the fly.
app is dope.
And
it
so
is
it's like
so good.
Other people have come out with stuff that are decent, like Castle, but you've got to use a program card and different things. I mean, I would buy the Bluetooth, either the Python Pro that has a Bluetooth built in, or a Lizard Pro with Bluetooth, and get their app. You can tune it, do everything with it, and yeah.
Yep.
That's what
I don't know if the Hobbywing
but you have to get a new receiver as well for your radio.
Right. I don't know if Hobbywing has, if it's onboard Bluetooth or not, but their Hobbywing app is pretty good.
It's really good for their fusions and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Because we use the app for more than half. I think we only have one Reedy in the carpet and turf cars.
Yeah.
And the rest are Hobbywing. And we have the Pro Box or whatever it's called, where you can plug it in and do everything on the box, but then it also acts as the Bluetooth dongle and you can get it on the app.
Yeah.
And I had the app already from running the Axe system on a crawler.
Yeah, that's what I had it for, the Axe. Super great app. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
It's actually way more high end as far as the look and feel of the app is, I would say, to a degree.
Compared to FureTech?
Yeah. The FureTech's a little, I
don't know.
Feels like, I don't know. When you look at apps that are fully polished, I feel like it has the features that you want. There's tons of features, but it's very basic and simplistic.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
yeah,
it works fantastic. So there's that.
Yeah.
Definitely name your stuff.
Yeah.
So if you're at a place where 100 people are running them, also put a password on it so that they're not just going in and messing with your
next
settings.
time I'm crawling next to you, I'm going to pull up my app and be like,
Next
zero
time there's
drag
money
back.
comp, I'm going to be in there messing with the person. Motor backwards. Right into the gate. Counterclockwise.
Zero drag brake. Sorry about it.
Yep. Full power. like throttle 100% right at the get-go. All power.
All power.
Go in the settings and redo their endpoints on their radio.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yep.
While
Huge
they're
huge throttle curve.
You guys are going to be screwed.
Or do the throttle curve where it's like slow, jump.
Yeah.
They're like, why is this
What
not going?
happened? Yep.
Oh, that speaking of something like that. So Dalton in his first qualifier, he's tearing it up. So he ended up TQing that race. So he was tearing it up in his first qualifier, and then all of a sudden his car just died. I was like, what now? Like, oh, I was so frustrated, right? And we get his car back and we look at it and it shredded his on-off switch. Just shredded it out. So I was like, dang it. So I had to like solder it up again.
Solder it together.
Yep. And
you just delete it on off and just.
Yeah. But it's just frustrating that it was such a small thing. Luckily it was his first qual.
Okay.
And so a second qual he TQ'd on it. So it's like, okay.
Yeah.
I'll allow it.
Price a river.
Yeah. I know. Just saying.
Yeah.
So
well,
right.
Super congratulations.
Thanks, dude.
On the sponsorship. I know tires, you go through them, and that's a big deal to have a tire sponsor.
Bro.
Of anything.
It is.
That's
a super relief.
Yep.
Like, and that they're cool. Like, I was starting to kind of have.
I feel like a lot of the tire game's cool. Like, I think the people at J Concepts are cool. I think the people at what's that guy's name that did the Short Course World? What's his name? Jason. He has a tire company.
His tires.
Somebody help me out here.
Jason Rona? Some Jason dude. I don't know.
No.
He has a little tire company.
Raw Speed.
Oh yeah, Raw Speed.
Their stuff's cool.
Yeah, agreed.
He seems like a super cool dude.
Well, and the thing is that we were using TZO tires already, and they have them at our track, like our track, trackside support does TZO, and so for dirt, so it was nice.
Nick B's gonna be there for the Winter Series, coming after you.
Oh, nice!
Take him out. If you can't win, take him out. You gotta make sure you break something that's hard to get, though. Whatever those team associated parts were that he couldn't find, try to break that.
Yeah.
A little spacer special thing on the carrier hub or whatever it was.
Yeah, the pillow balls. See, we had good success with our tires we had first and second season point success with our TZO tires and third overall Sportsman. So I think proof is in the pudding there, Nick. Yep. Just saying. Now that was probably one of the highlights I have of 501s. We ran 501s and 601s.
Oh, now you know.
There you go.
Giving away all the secrets.
Yep. No, that was probably one of the coolest things of the season that I will have memories of are the kids nose to tail racing like they're fighter jets or a team. Dude, nothing better than that. Like it just was so cool to see them cross a finish line like choo choo. You know what I mean? Like just
that's so cool.
And just hearing them battle back and forth, and it's kind of a bummer because Dalton's done. He's done. Yeah. No more novice across the board. He's out of novice and everything. And Olivia's going to stay in novice for carpet this season. And it's kind of a bummer because they're not going to be a 1-inch scrambler. Balls. It's kind of a bummer because we're not going to have.
We'll make scramblers, and I might check them out.
Yeah, they're. It's kind of a bummer because they're not going to be in the same class for a while. But me and Dalton will be in the same class for truck, so we'll see how that goes. Yep.
Well, cool. Well, thank you guys for checking in. It's good to be back
Yeah,
at it.
it
Hopefully
is.
we'll have some new news. Hopefully the gauntlet video will drop by the weekend here. And yeah, I need to get it done. Get it done.
There
I
you
got
go.
some other stuff I got to make videos on coming in.
Nice.
So gotta turn and burn some things. So
Nice.
an icy sponsorship, Wolf Tracks. I am with you.
Yeah.
Give me Big Gulp 7-Eleven. Just give me a 7-Eleven sponsorship. That's all I need. That's what I hang from my beard. Yeah, that would be
rad.
great. Just give it 7-Eleven. I will talk about. I'll sit there drinking a Slurpee or a Big Gulp, not a Slurpee. The Slurpees give me heartburn. But
You're so old.
no, they gave me heartburn when I was a kid, and I didn't realize it.
Yeah.
What it was coming from. It was.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway.
We run frostbites in the rears too on carpet, just so you know. Might not do it for long though.
Yeah.
And we'll end on that bombshell.
Boom. Dropping that. See you guys.
Peace out.
Oh, we need an outro video now, they say. They want us to have an outro video. End the stream. Outro video. Set outro video. End stream.
Oh.